Hello, I'm Joanne Bester, and this is a brand new 12-part series of the latest buzzword in the farming community known as regenerative farming. We'll explain it, examine it, look at some practical implementations on the farm, speak to some industry pioneers, and see what it means to you as a farmer. In our first episode, we'll be talking to Jacques Leroux, General Manager of OVK's Fibre, to discuss exactly why regenerative farming has become so relevant in today's markets. Hello Jacques, thank you for taking the time to explain this to us. We hear a lot of negatives in the agricultural community around conventional farming practices. We see government policies in the EU and in New Zealand specifically hammering quite hard on dairy and on fashion industries. Would you say that this is evidence of the direction that we are taking in the agricultural sector?
Thank you, Joanne. It's an absolute pleasure to have you here, and I help where I can. Of course, we see a refocus and a new direction for agriculture as well as the fashion industry worldwide. We all understand and know why this is, and we all need to focus on a positive impact on the planet as a whole.
Regenerative farming or nature-positive farming has become somewhat of a buzzword in recent times. Would you say that this is going to influence the mohair and fibre and wool producing sectors?
Jan, definitely. We see a change from the fashion industry side to become more involved on the production side as far as regenerative farming is concerned. There's a need for the fashion industry to change their image, so to speak, to contribute towards nature-positive farming.
Do you reckon that farmers will be rewarded for adopting the so-called a shift towards preferred fibres, which according to the statistics will be in high demand and low supply by 2030? And if so, will this be purely driven by market tendencies?
I think let's firstly look at what a preferred fibre is, what the definition for preferred fibre is. And if you don't mind, I'm going to read this off as it's rather lengthy. Fibre or raw material that delivers consistently reduced impacts and increased benefits for climate, nature and people against the conventional equivalent through a holistic approach to transforming production systems. So if we look at that definition, I think in principle a farmer would benefit by implementing that system in terms of better production. Well, that's the way it should be. And then secondly, the preferred fibre status will hopefully in future provide a premium in the marketplace due to demand and the shortage of such fibres in future.
Do you reckon that these market tendencies will lead to limited market access for farmers who do not wish to participate in verification standards in the long haul?
Joanne, yes, unfortunately, I think the answer is positive on that. It's not currently the case, but potentially it will happen in future that a farmer who does not participate in some kind of sustainability scheme will prejudice himself in the marketplace.
We know that farmers, and more specifically livestock farmers, are under severe financial pressure with the low commodity prices of meat and fibre versus the high input costs of fuel and fertilizers. From the examples of people who have implemented this type of practices, would you say that there is financial benefit to be gained other than that of the market and the way that the market is driving them?
Joanne, I definitely think so, yes. Firstly, a farmer will benefit from the holistic farming practices, sustainable farming practices on his own farm, which will possibly lead to improved production and just general health of his soil and animals and so forth. But we've also seen historically that there is benefit for a farmer participating in sustainable standards. So I do think that there will be financial benefit not only from a marketplace but also from the optimal way in which he farms employing these practices.
The forecasts are telling us that we are in for another El Nino cycle. This is concerning since we have recently just come out of what is considered to be the worst drought in living memory. Weather patterns are starting to change, and we are seeing that the rainy seasons are becoming wetter while the droughts are becoming more intense. Would you say that this is a risk for farmers, businesses and perhaps for social structures? And how would the nature positive farming perhaps be able to mitigate this?
Of course, what we are seeing happening worldwide in terms of adverse weather patterns is definitely a risk to farmers and the community in general. So any farmer needs to take cognizance of this, and he needs to make plans. And I think farming in a regenerative way, farming nature positive, is one of those plans that he can make, because implementing those principles will help him to buffer against droughts and other calamities.
To conclude, Jacques, would you say that the South African wool and mower industries are ready for these changes?
Joanne, I definitely think so. But whether we are ready or not is actually immaterial. The market waits for no one. The market dictates what it wants, and the quicker we adapt to these changes, the better for us.
Jacques, thank you for your insights in this matter and helping us to understand why it has become so relevant. We hope you enjoyed this first episode with us, and we look forward to seeing you next time.